Good day, my scholars. You are welcome to my school channel, and my name is Abiola. Remember, in this channel, you'll be joining me to tackle the JAMB CBT past question for the subject Biology, the year 2014. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us, and we will be right back. You're welcome back to my school channel, and in this video segment we are solving questions 26 to 49. So join me as we start with question 26. Which of the following is a nitrogen fixing blue-green algae of soil? All right, so take note of blue-green. All right, so naturally we would have tend towards rhizobium. All right, okay, so but since we have this to actually give us a distinct description, so what we'll go for is Anabina. All right, so this whole description fitting for Anabina. You can examine this relationship between it and mosquito fen. All right, so the correct option here is option D. Question 27. The soil with highest water retaining capacity is what? Okay, that is the clay soil. All right, so you should know that the sandy soil, because of the pores between this soil structure, okay, it allows water to drain down so fast. Okay, so when you look at when you examine the structure of the clay soil, this tells you that it has a capacity to hold water, so it has the highest water retaining capacity. So your correct option that you are looking for is option A, the clay soil. Question 28. The causative agent of poliomyelitis is what? Okay, when you talk about this, we're talking about infantile paralysis, and it is caused by the picorna virus. Okay, so I just mentioned virus. So the option you're looking for is option A virus. Question 29. One of the ways of controlling noise pollution in urban areas is by what? Option A, by siting industries away from residential areas. This is very, very important. You know, these industries, they make use of heavy equipment that produce heavy noises. So it is very salient and effective if these industries, okay, they are being put away from residential areas. So the most viable option here is option A. So one of the ways of controlling noise pollution is found in option A for urban areas. So you have your correct option A. 30. A constituent of the exhaust fumes from electricity generating sets which causes serious pollution is what? Your carbon monoxide. Okay, so this is due to the incomplete combustion of gasoline fuel. So this is definitely what you get, and it is colorless, it is odorless, and it is tasteless, but it is very poisonous. So it is one of the exhaust fume that you get from your generators, simply put, generators, and it causes serious pollution. So the correct option is option A for this carbon monoxide. Question 31. Which of the following is true of smallpox? Okay, it is transmitted by bacteria. This is incorrect. It is transmitted by virus. Okay, the pox virus. It can be effectively controlled with antibiotics. Antibiotics also means antibacterial. So we're talking about virus, not bacteria. So this is also incorrect. It can be effectively controlled by vaccination. Fine, it's a serious disease, but now it is medically believed or scientifically believed that it is eradicated. All right, so we can take this. So it is a waterborne infection. This is also incorrect. It is airborne. So the most viable option is option C. It can be effectively controlled by vaccination. Number 32. A pollutant that is mostly associated with acid rain is what? So when you talk about acid rain, we're talking about sulfur oxide and we're talking about nitrogen oxide. So if you look through all of the options provided, you will find the most viable option here, okay, nitrogen oxide. Option A is the most viable option. Question 33. When the adult has reached a certain degree of weakness, the process of binary fission is replaced by conjugation in what? Okay, it is in paramecium. Of course, we know that paramecium, muglina, and amoeba, okay, they belong to the kingdom of protists. All right, so but generally you can say protists, they generally speaking, you can say their means of reproduction is by fission. All right, so but when you come to paramecium, it can also use the process of conjugation, all right, whereby a typical paramecium, okay, will act like a gamete, another one too will act like a gamete, and if there's a fusion amidst them, okay, there's an exchange of nuclei among these two paramecium organisms. So the correct option here is option A for paramecium. Paramecium exhibits both binary fission and conjugation. So you have the correct option A. Question 34. Alls, arcs, loops, and compounds are types of variation in where? Okay, it's about your fingerprint. All right. So when you talk about your blood group, you're talking about the A, the B, the AB, and the O. All right. So the correct option here is option B for fingerprints. There are variations that can be seen or observed when it comes to fingerprints, all of this. So you have your correct option B. Do not forget the link in the description below is made available for you so that you can get the Myschool mobile app or the Myschool software. And you need to activate this app or this software with a token of 1,000 naira. So join me as we solve question 35. A couple has 10 children, all female. Which of the following best explains this situation? So this question or this concept generally should be well communicated and often taught to everyone. Okay, so let's see this. We have option A. We want to explain the situation. The sex determination was by the man's X chromosome. Generally, when we talk about males, we're talking about the X and the Y chromosome present. Okay, when you talk about female, you're talking about two X chromosomes. So it is the male that determines what sex of child comes out. So if the male donates X, what you'll be having is XX. All right, the female is just two X chromosomes. So if the man donates Y, what you will have is the X from the woman, then the Y that the man introduces. Okay, so this sex determination is basically by the man's X chromosome. Let's look at another thing. The man's sperm count is low. No, this doesn't have to do with having all female children. Okay, we have C. The woman is not capable of producing male children. This is a fallacy. Okay, and it has been very harmful and it should be taken away. All right, so we have option D. The sex determination was by the man's Y. No, this is by the man's X. If the man's Y was being sent in, okay, the Y chromosome is going to combine with the woman's X, okay, and what you are going to have is a male child. But now the man is sending an X forward, okay, so X meets with the woman's X. You have two X, and that makes for a female child. So the correct option is option A. Do not forget to hit that like button. Also click on the subscribe button and always tap on bell notification so you can get informed immediately we upload the next video clips just for you. Question 36. A biological agent with antiviral property is what? Okay, is the antiferon. All right, so your body actually make this happen, all right, when it senses the presence of virus or other kinds of intruders. Okay, so basically, but when you talk about interferon, you're talking about virus. So you can see antiviral here. Enzymes, we're talking about, I can put it forward probably for digestion. Yeah, digestion. Antibiotics also means antibacterial. So do not mix that up. Disinfectant, you use the chemicals you use to sterilize surfaces, to clean up surfaces, all right? So the correct option here is option A for the interferon. Question 37. One of the advantages of outbreeding is what? Okay, when you talk about selective breeding, you have inbreeding, all right? Similar makeup. Then you talk about outbreeding, okay, when you talk about some genetically distinct organisms, all right, they have some kind of variations in their genetics that serves as an advantage, okay? So you want to bring them together so that you can introduce a particular trait, all right, to whatever you are doing. Or in inbreeding, you want to retain a particular trait you have always seen, all right. So let's go back to the question. One of the advantages of outbreeding is what? Is disease resistance, all right. So the most viable option here is option B for disease resistance. Question 38. An individual with blood group AB can receive blood from those in blood groups what? Okay, he is a universal receiver, all right. So he can receive from A, blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB, and blood group O, all right. So universal donors, we are talking about blood group O. So the universal receiver is AB, so it can receive from any other blood group. So the correct option here is option A for A, B, AB, and O. Number 39. The streamlined shape of fishes is an adaptation for what? For easy movement. All right, so this is definitely simple. Your correct option is option B for easy movement. Question 40. An example of a poikilothermic organism is a what? Okay, when you talk about poikilothermic, you're talking about cold-blooded animals. So this is warm-blooded. Then reptiles, of course, they are cold-blooded. So the correct option here is option A for lizard. 41. All living organisms are constantly involved in a struggle for existence. Okay, this was proposed by who? By Charles Darwin. All right, so I'm talking about survival of the fittest. Okay, but when you talk about Jean Lamarck, you are talking about use and disuse. So I believe the major context should be between these two options. So for clarity's sake, Charles Darwin talks about struggle for existence. So your correct option is option B for Charles Darwin. Question 42. Adaptive radiation is illustrated in what? Okay, it is illustrated in modified insect mouthparts. You know, when you talk about adaptive radiation, you're talking about very rapid change, all right, that you notice in the next or following generation from a common ancestor, all right. So this can even lead us to talk about convergent and divergent evolution. You know, when you talk about convergent evolution, you're talking about different kinds of organisms, all right, but you see them that they have similar structure that perform similar function as well, and probably this is due to the fact that they stay in the same environment. So you can see the similarity when you talk about the wings in birds and bats. So this is an example of convergent evolution. So when you come back to adaptive radiation, you know, you talk about form follows function. So this is what actually brings out what we are looking for. So the viable option here is option A for modified insect mouthparts. Number 43. Growth is mainly apical, growth is specific with definite shape, growth is throughout life. Which of the above correctly describes the growth pattern in plants? All right, so when you talk about plants, at first you should know that the growth does not talk about definite shape. Okay, so what we should note about plants is growth is apical. You know, either you are talking about the root, the shoot, or you are even referring to the stem. Okay, all right. So when you come back to statement 3, growth is throughout life. Either it is an annual crop or a perennial crop. You are going to, if it's a perennial plant, you'll be seeing those rings, all right, and they represent the number of years. So it's throughout their lifetime. So for an annual crop or annual plant, what you will just notice that it's like a sigmoid curve, or a curve rather, sigmoid curve to be precise. So when we go back to the question given us, we can see that what correctly describes growth pattern in plants is the number 1, growth is mainly apical, all right, and growth is throughout life. So this is valid based on the content given to us. So if we are going to select a correct answer, we'll go for D, statement I, and statement I. So option D is what we are looking for. What stops you from asking your questions right now? All you need to do, click on that link in the description below. It's going to move you straight to the Myschool website where you can ask your questions on the spot, and our solution providers are waiting to help you out. So join me as we solve question 44. Use the diagram to answer this question. The part labeled 2 is the what? Okay, so at first it is very salient that we identify what organism this okay, is. So this is paramecium, all right. So this is the this part labeled 1, I can take it for the gullet, all right. This is the vacuole, the contractile vacuole. This is the chloroplast, all right, and these are the granules. So using the diagram to answer the question, we can say the part labeled 2 is the contractile vacuole. So the correct option should be option D. So D is the option we are looking for. You may have better steps or explanations to tackling any of the questions we've solved so far. Please, we are so much interested. All you need to do is to use that comment section below. Indicate the question number and the explanations or solution you'd like to share. Question 45. Use the diagram above to answer this question, okay? The part responsible for photosynthesis, that is the chloroplast. This, okay, the part labeled 3. So I. So where do we find that? We find that in option A. So option A is the part that is identified as chloroplast, and it is labeled I. So option A is the option we are looking for. Question 46. Use the diagram above to answer this question. So the young proglotid is represented by what? Okay, so this is it, yeah. This is sucker, then this are the hooks, all right. So we can see that the younger proglotid is represented by IV, all right. So if it gets older, all right, so you should know that the tapeworm, this is the tapeworm, of course, okay, it's a hermaphrodite, all right. So the proglotid, it's going to house the testes and the ovaries. So the more mature it gets, okay, the other ones you find them down. The proglotid, you know, they are arranged in long rows. All right. So the correct option we are looking for is option B, IV. So use the diagram to answer this question. The young proglotid is represented here, IV. So the lower you go, the older the proglotides are. So you have your option B once again. 47. In the diagram, the organs for attachment to the lining of the host intestine are labeled what? Okay, they are labeled 2 and 3, or 3 and 2, whichever way you put it. This sucker hooks, all right, with this, so that they will not be carried away with the food that comes in. So this is a proglottoid, all right. So if we're going back to the question, the organs of attachment is what? They are the hooks and the suckers. So 2 and 3. So where do we find that? 2 and 3. We find that in option A. So option A is the correct option. 48. In the diagram, the part labeled I is the words. Okay, at first this is a dicot root or dicotyledonous root. All right. So this is the part labeled I, root S. This is the cortex, this is the xylem. So in the diagram, the part labeled high is the words. We just mentioned the root S. So the correct option here is option C for root S. 49. The diagram is a transverse section of a what? Okay, the transverse section of a dicot root. So the correct option here is option D for dicotyledonous root. So that's the option we're looking for. We've come to the end of this video segment, but there are definitely more interesting and interactive video clips to come, all right? All you need to do is to hit that like button, also click on the subscribe button, and always tap bell notifications so you can get alerts immediately we upload the next video clips, all for you.